Hello, welcome everyone, welcome. I'll be getting started here in a few minutes. I hope everyone has had an amazing day today. Scream 7, I haven't seen that one yet. Hopefully I'll be able to see it soon. Welcome to anyone who is just now joining. If any of you guys are new here, feel free to check out my page. I am a realism artist here on YouTube. Yeah, I heard Scream 7 is a pretty good movie. I haven't seen too many of the trailers of it, so I don't really, know much of it. Scream or Obsession? I probably will be live for like about a half hour tonight, only because it is a later stream, but I will be having a decent live schedule for the next live stream. Don't worry about that, guys. So it'll be kind of a short live stream tonight, but trust me, I will get another stream up and going in the next few days. Hopefully I can get something uploaded soon. I have uploaded a piece I randomly started one night. That one's kind of halfway done, so hopefully I can get something done soon. I've just been pretty busy. I love watching people draw, to be honest. That's kind of what got me into doing like drawing live streams. I always really liked watching people draw on lives. I would draw on my art block right now is crazy. Honestly, just to find a random reference pic off of like Pinterest or, any app you guys use for like finding art references on, just finding something really random and just drawing it, even if it's just a doodle, sometimes it kind of just sparks your creativity for the next piece you're working on. I know sometimes it doesn't help for some people, but I think it kind of helps in some cases. Even if it's just something small, it does help with practicing as well. I also plan to pause this piece, or live stream piece, I like to call it, soon, very, very soon. I do have an idea to start doing Halloween inspired pieces for my live streams as well, just so I can spark that excitement for the Halloween season. I also put up this poll, what's your favorite horror movie, to kind of get an idea of what characters or movies you guys like, which will also help me come up with ideas for this October. Hello, welcome. I've got to go now. Have a good rest of your stream. That's perfectly fine. I hope to see you next time. Evil Dead Rise. I haven't seen the new one, but I really, really, really want to see it. Like, so badly. The last one was pretty good. If you guys are just now joining, I am placing down some colors and then blending it in. So not too much detailing yet. If you guys haven't yet, please like the live stream. It really does help pushing my channel out there more, the live streams out there more. It really does help a lot. That's perfectly fine. I hope to see you the next live stream. And thank you so much for subbing. I'm going on IBSX and Pinterest right now to think of Halloween ideas. That is super, super exciting. I think something that would be kind of fun is to do like little Halloween drawings, like a collage on a page. That would be super fun. Low-key hear me out on a new Backrooms movie. Is it bad that I like actually low-key don't like it? Like it was like some parts, some scenes were good, but I feel like it wasn't rushed, but it was like very long in certain clips. Like the beginning was super long for like no reason. And then I feel like the ending was very confusing. Felt a little rushed towards the end. But I do like how they like scripted some parts. I think they did that very well. Especially on some of the backroom characters. I really did like how they designed those. Little subscriber count update. We are currently at 15,082 subscribers. We just hit 15K, I believe, a few days ago. Very exciting. So very grateful for each and every one of you. I'm actually very curious to see how many subs we're going to hit towards the end of this year. Your sub count isn't going up a lot, and I'm sad like other days you were flying. See, that's the thing with YouTube is you kind of just have to have keep posting, but you have to have one good video actually like spark the For You page, because if you don't have one good video, everything is kind of like slow. So I'm pretty sure that one video that went viral with the frog drawing kind of just started dying down a little bit, which is fine, obviously. I'm so very grateful for each and every subscriber I've gained from it. It definitely was quite an experience because I've never had a viral video like that. Kind of reminds me of that one scene from Toy Story where the aliens are like reaching up and saying the claw. It's kind of like that with the For You page. That's why I always tell a lot of my younger artists here to just make sure you're putting trendy audios, trendy hashtags, anything trendy, because it really does help a lot. Hello, welcome. If you guys are just now joining, feel free to check out my page. I am a realism artist. And if you guys haven't liked the live stream yet, please do so. It does help a lot. Yet again, I will be live for just an half hour today. It is pretty late for me, and I promise you guys I will go live at a decent time sometime soon. It was like pouring so bad earlier, like super bad, like the streets were like flooding and everything, and I got rained on pretty good. We honestly kind of need the rain though, I would say. If any of you guys are also new here, I have been drawing for about 8 to 9 years now in total. I have been posting on YouTube for 6 years now, and I started my digital art journey in 2023. And if you guys are super curious, I started realism this year. I know, pretty crazy. But let me just tell you a thing. If you guys really do want to like progress in art, don't push yourself. And that's like the best advice anyone can give you. Pace yourself at a certain pace that is comfortable for you, because if you're pushing yourself, you kind of just don't really progress the way you want to progress. What brush are you using? I am currently using, I don't know if you guys can see, but I am using the flat brush in the painting section on Procreate. I use it for pretty much everything. Besides blending, of course, I use like a round brush at a low opacity. Any blend brush should be kind of at a low opacity because it kind of blends things out way too muddy, I would say. But any brush is good as long as you guys are comfortable with the brushes you guys are using. Hello, welcome. Like I said, I will be working on a set of Halloween themed pieces for my live streams as well. Terrifier. I believe I drew Terrifier last year. I do have a Halloween 2025 playlist if you guys want to go check that out. Scream. I do have that one on my list. Hopefully I can get to that one this year, hopefully. I do have a couple ideas for Halloween pieces. Not many, but hopefully I can get some done. The Conjuring. I always really loved like the Conjuring series or anything that had to do with it. I love those movies so much. I don't know why, it just seems so interesting to me. I feel like a lot of people like The Conjuring though. I don't know. I know it's not just me. Has like a 3D effect. I always loved doing like 3D block letters. Especially growing up, I feel like that was kind of like a thing for me, like a phase, just doing like graffiti, blocky letters. Dude, I think the crazy thing with me is like horror movies don't scare me, but when it's like those scary videos on YouTube, I get so scared. It's like, it's so weird for me. It's like you would think if I get scared over YouTube videos, I would definitely get scared or over like scary films. And that's just like so impossible for me. I think one thing that makes me take a very long time on pieces is having to, I wouldn't say blend because that is obviously a very, very easy process within art, but having to lay out all the colors, which is what I'm doing now, is color picking, which I think is also like a really important thing with realism, by the way, is having to color pick everything and make sure everything is somewhat close to like, you know, the photo, which is kind of what I'm trying to do here. If you guys weren't in my very, very, very last live stream, this is what I did for the first food item, which is a sunny side up egg. Why is your voice like satisfying, kind of like ASMR, not trying to be weird or anything? Certain words just make my brain fuzzy. You know, I try to actually, I don't even know, I try to like have conversations with you guys, kind of like if it's like a FaceTime call or whatnot. Sometimes it's hard for me because it's like, what do we even talk about, guys? I don't want to be like boring or anything. I love your art. I aspire to draw like you one day. Just make sure you are practicing every day, even if it's something small, and don't push yourself because art exhaustion is a thing. Trust me, it really is. When you guys need breaks, take that break. Otherwise, you guys lose that creativity for the next piece. It's what I do sometimes as well, because I just started realism this year, and it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's hard. Maybe some things for me is hard yet, but it's kind of exhausting a little bit, especially since it's something new to me. Final Destination Bloodlines, I loved that movie. I think with most of the Final Destination films, especially having to like watch them when you're like younger, is like, it brings those scares to you. It's like, oh, there's an elevator scene. Now I'm gonna think about that scene whenever I'm in an elevator. I've been trying to draw months in different styles, but I've just been turning them into eyes, and one looks really sad. I feel bad for it. Don't feel bad for any pieces. Trust me, even if something is like bad in your eyes, just keep it, because at some point in the future when you actually progress in art, you're going to want to look back at those and just be like, wow, this is where I started and this is where I'm at now. And it's also a good thing that you're drawing in different styles as well, because it helps you develop your own style in the future. Like, honestly, I don't think I ever thought that I would go into like dictional art, like, ever, but it happened, guys. Somehow it happened. I will start blending this out soon. We do have so much work left to do on this. I mean, like the cherry, the glaze on the top, and the wrapping, which of course we will get there at some point. I do like to take it slow with some certain pieces, because I like to see it kind of just slowly turn from something so basic into something so real. Kind of like if it's like popping off the page. Hopefully my plan for tomorrow is to work on one of the pieces I'm working on and maybe even get a video up, hopefully. But I will try to make another live stream schedule for you guys. And it will always be in my community posts section, if you guys are ever wondering or looking for that. I do post it a couple times throughout the week just as a reminder. Not worry too much about the colors underneath that white, because those will be covered at some point. Just trying to lay down some of those basic colors to blend. No, I have to go. You're so good. Keep it up. I'll definitely be back another time though. That's perfectly fine. I hope to see you at my next live stream. It looks amazing so far. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys have to go, it is perfectly fine. I will be live for maybe 10 more minutes. It is kind of a shorter live, but I did want to come on here, get a little bit more work done with this, and also see how everyone else is doing. How long do pieces like this normally take you? Something like this, something very small, can take me maybe a few hours, couple hours, and I could, if I wanted to, I could get it done within a day. But I do like to take my time on pieces. If it is like a human portrait or something more intense, like it takes maybe, I don't know, maybe like 6 to 10 hours, maybe 15 actually, just spread out into days. So that's another reason why it takes me such a long time to like post pieces, is that it takes me like maybe a month to 2 months in total to actually post those pieces. But like something small like this, it does take me like a couple hours. I do like to like do, you know, very slow process. Especially for live streams, I do like to do that. Ooh, it looks so realistic. Thank you so much. You are the most underrated YouTuber on this planet. I think I'm going to maybe add a few more base colors in this area and then start blending that out. I do like to do it in sections as well. How long have you been drawing for? Great question. I've been drawing for about 8 to 9 years in total. Very crazy. I've been, I guess, posting like art since maybe 2020, so about 6 years. And I started digital art in 2023, so not too long ago, 3 years. And I started realism this year, so I have progressing for maybe, I don't know, a couple months. I haven't been drawing too much here and there. I've been kind of just taking breaks as needed, as this does exhaust me a little bit since I'm just, learning it. Which is also a good thing, by the way, if you guys are like learning a new type of thing like realism or a different type of art style, it is good to take more breaks because it does exhaust you. I'm also good at drawing, but not super realism. I never thought I was going to get into realism, like, ever. But it just, like, it happened one day, and I was like, okay, well, this is actually fun. Which is the photo? I think I nailed it with the frosting. What do you guys think? I think I nailed it with the frosting. I know it's kind of hard to see with my angle there. Dude, you are the best realism artist I've ever seen. There is actually a couple great realism artists I've seen on YouTube that are definitely way better than me, I would say. They do draw pretty fast. I don't remember what their names are on YouTube, but there's two of them that I do follow that are super good. Yeah, color picking does help a lot, but it's like such a long process. Super long process. Sketching does take some time depending on what it is, but like for instance, like a cherry, all you really need to do is just, draw a circle or use the grid method to actually get that shape out. I'm going to add a few more colors here and blend this out. You make it look easy. Sometimes I do struggle, guys. I just don't show it. I'm just adding a little bit of pink on the frosting. Just a little bit. Sometimes I do struggle, I just don't show it. Why is that so real? I think now that I have such a large following, it's like I feel like I'm depended to actually like put out pieces more. But I know you guys are like super patient with me. I love that so much. So it's like for my younger artists, I have to, make it seem like I'm this professional artist, which I think I'm getting there, I would say. I do struggle, guys. I'm struggling right now as we speak. Oh, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I know there is some things I do have to work on, of course, in realism, which, of course, I'm super excited to do that. I know at some point I'll be able to pretty much draw anything and everything. I just do the best I can and practice the best I can. Is there a blending tool that might help for that icing? I actually use, I'm not exactly sure, it's in the painting section. It's the round brush on Procreate. I use that at a very low opacity, very super low, to where it's like blending but not like overly blending, and I use that for everything. Like, I mean, whether it's for this icing, for skin, I literally use it for everything. Sometimes I might use something different if I'm looking for like a different texture when I'm blending, but I do use the round brush a lot. We all have that one brush we use all the time. Literally, the only two brushes I pretty much ever use is the flat brush in painting and the round brush. See, and if I put the opacity up a lot, which I'm not going to do now, obviously, if I did that, it would definitely make it super muddy, which we don't want that when we're blending. I'm better at drawing on paper, but I'm good at drawing on mouse. I do have so much drawings on paper, like way more than Dictional, because I've been drawing on paper pretty much maybe even when I was a toddler. I have no clue. And of course, sometimes I like to open up my sketchbook and do something in there too. Drawing on mouse is crazy. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever be able to do that. Yeah, if you guys are artists, feel free to draw along with me. Sometimes it's good to draw along with other artists. It kind of brings back that creativity. Art block definitely is not fun. Trying to make sure I don't overly blend. I want those edges to be blended out, but not super, super blurry. Still can't believe you're so underrated. You know, crazy thing, I don't know if any of you guys were here for that one viral video, but I was just at like 3K, maybe like 2.3 actually, until I posted that, which is beyond crazy. I just flew right past all the numbers and just, hit 15K like the other day or something. So it's not impossible, guys. You just gotta post every single day, pretty much. Just trying to blend this out good enough. Just comparing the photos, which is also a good thing if you guys don't do that. Sometimes if you're drawing the reference photo and you kind of just see differences, it kind of makes you go back and fix them. So I'm kind of just comparing to see what else I need to add. I have to go. That's perfectly fine. I hope to see you at the next live stream. I use IBS Paint. That's actually the first app I've ever used. So IBS Paint will always hold a special place in my heart. Most of my pieces were created on there. And then a little reference that I move around with my drawing. You know, that's kind of funny because it's like when I post my time lapses, all you guys can see is just bam, 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 all over the screen. It's extra funny because it's like the time lapse is sped up, so it's just like moving around super fast. Alright guys, so what do we think? I know I feel like I should like add more colors in this. I know it's a little bit more brighter than the other ones, at least in the reference. So I probably will fix that up at some point. Could probably lighten up this area a little bit here. That's also another thing that I also really like to do. Sometimes I leave it as is, and then the next live stream is like, oh, I see something I gotta fix, so then I'll fix it right then and there. A little subscriber count update. We are currently at 15,084. So we've gained a few new subscribers here in the community. Hello, welcome. Hi, remember me. I actually do remember you. A dragon. I wish dragons were like real because I would love to actually go on rides and stuff on a dragon. That'd be so cool. Jumping spiders. I will be live for a few more minutes, so if you guys just want to ask me any questions, if you guys have any questions, feel free to do so. I will get rid of this reference pic so you guys can stare at the delicious foods. What time will you do streams? I usually do them at 8 p.m. Central Time, and I also like to post schedules for other time zones as well. Tonight was a little bit of a later night stream considering I got home a little bit later, but just look out in the community post. I will have time zone times for your guys' time zones as well. How do you do shading? Do you use layers? Do you use certain brushes? And how do you pick colors? Pick colors. If I am doing references, obviously I just do color picking right then and there. Shading, I do all the shading and everything on the same layer. So usually base layers, the rendering and everything, I do that in one go. That's why a lot of people tend to think I still pieces, is because I do the base layers and rendering in one go. Not base and then rendering, I just do both. What is your favorite piece of art from when you first started and now? When I first started, I think one of my favorite pieces has to be maybe my first ever digital art piece. I believe it was like a stack of donuts or something, which is crazy. I still have that video up from when I first posted it. I was actually really proud of that piece when I did it. And my favorite piece from now, that one's like a really hard one because I do have a couple favorite pieces I'm working on currently, so I kind of don't really know how to answer that one yet. What is your favorite genre of music? You guys are not going to believe me at all, but I actually really like rock and metal. I do kind of listen to a little bit of everything though. Those are kind of just like my main. If you guys are wondering what app I'm using, if you guys, weren't here for that, I am using Procreate. The main brushes I do use is the flat brush and round brush for blending in the painting section. Yeah, if you guys are artists or if you guys have art channels, I'm not exactly sure, of course, but if you guys kind of just want to like post your art in the community and, make friends there, feel free to do so. How long does it take to draw one realistic drawing? So something basic like this could take me just a couple hours, and I could pretty much finish it in one day if I wanted to. If it's something more intense like human pieces or animals, anything like that, it does take me up to a month to 2 months, but in total, maybe about 6 to 15 hours. So that's why it does take me a little longer to post those pieces. Question, do you have any fandoms or anything? I really don't, which is kind of crazy, but I don't. What do you mean basic? That's not basic. Well, to me now, of course, it's basic, you know, because I've like progressed a little bit. Like, I'm pretty sure this egg piece, I finished this whole piece on live stream when I did it. I think it only took me about an hour to do. I'm not exactly sure. What are your favorite artists, song makers, I guess? That is such a hard question because I do kind of listen to everything, but I'm kind of getting back into Ariana Grande again. I don't know why I say again because like a lot of people like her music, but I kind of like some of her newer songs on her album that just came out, so I've been kind of just snooping around and listening to some of those. I do like other artists, like I kind of like Oliver Tree's music, like kind of, I don't even know what it's called. I don't want to call it like hip hop. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but you know, kind of music like that. I like a lot of interesting, outgoing artists that kind of express themselves differently than kind of following other artists and what other artists do. Because I feel like some artists that kind of just follow each other are kind of like boring in a sense. Any tips for him? So, drawing on digital, it is kind of harder. It really is. When I switched from traditional to digital, which was way more harder for me, I don't know what he's like drawing on, but when I first started, I was drawing on my phone, which is very crazy, super like small screen. I didn't have any type of stylus or anything, so I was drawing with my finger on my phone for like a very long time, and that makes it like super hard to draw. So any tips for anyone who is just starting digital art in general? Just keep practicing. Don't push yourself because it's kind of like relearning how to draw. So if it's something like that, I would kind of like progress in the skill again, having to draw little things, even if it's just like a little sketch or something super small, and kind of just progressing from there because it does take a lot of time to relearn all of that all over again. Yes, the paper like screen protectors. I had one maybe like a while ago, and I really liked how it sounded. I don't know, something about it kind of like irritated me, so I took it off. But I do like the sound of it. I feel like artists who like draw with a paper like screen protector, it's just heaven. It's literally heaven. What is your clothing style? It kind of like changes. I would say sometimes it's grunge, sometimes it's like basic, like, you know, like a t-shirt or like shorts. It kind of just depends on the mood I'm in. I have an iPad and pencil and he's using it. See, that's great that he actually has access to an iPad because drawing on phone is torture. And I don't know how I was able to do it for such a long time, but it was so bad. And somehow I was still able to like actually progress in art even though I was struggling so bad with it. Yeah, phone drawings are like super bad. Such a struggle. Alright guys, I'm going to leave here in a few more minutes, so any last questions, feel free to ask me. I will also be updating the little live stream, oh my lord guys, the stream schedule for the next live stream. I don't know when that will be yet, so I'll probably have that posted maybe in the next day or two. Just keep watch for that because sometimes it does take me a minute to create those. Would you rather draw on your phone or computer and mouse? Now, I haven't drawn on a computer and mouse before, so I want to say phone because I have experience with that. Do you check community that much? I check everything. So any notification I get, whether it's community from any of my posts, videos, anything like that, I check and I heart it. Because I make sure to get to every single one of you, even if it's a question. Like, I'm pretty sure my video that had, I think it was the viral video, had like about 2,000, maybe almost 3,000 comments. I'm pretty sure I liked every single one of those comments. Every single one of them. This was an amazing stream. Thank you so much for being such a kind inspiration for us smaller artists. Of course. And feel free to like draw along with me in the next live stream if you guys haven't got to, tonight. Sometimes it really does help with art block. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys haven't liked the live stream, feel free to like that, check my channel for any updates or anything like that. And thank you guys so much for joining tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night wherever you guys are from. And thank you so much for joining.